They just want you to sit in your chair and go, hip hip hooray, for the Western press and the Western narrative, regurgitating the same old, every single day, without the stop. Please watch the first 2 episodes, the second series. Look at that.
Absolutely fascinating.
And it was the first time the Beatles had really stopped being semi-professional almost.
There we are. Every time I put a little picture in the corner. Anyway, good evening, everyone. Please, no distractions tonight. This is about football only. This is about the up-and-coming match. A very important match, by the way. At the weekend against Chelsea. I'll be doing a watch. Do you know what? Do you know me watch along? You know, everyone was saying, it's on Prime. And when Francine came down, she said, did you do that watch along, Daz? I said, no. I said, I couldn't get it on. She said, you've got Prime. I said, I know, in the living room. She said, no, you've got it there as well. I could have done it. Sorry about that. Well, anyway, you missed a loads of effing and blinds in them. The usual. So that was it. Anyway, let's see. I've just got to thank these wonderful people for sponsoring every podcast that I do, and it's got patent services. And I keep saying to you, please get them in. Don't struggle. They're fully time served lads. They're fully insured, just in case something, damage or anything. And they're in and out. They live you, whatever you want decorating, they do it top class. They really do. So just get them in. Don't struggle. If you're an NHS worker, and if you're an elderly or an elderly couple, get them in, because both of you will get a special discount. A special discount. Don't struggle trying to paint and decorate, especially with Christmas coming up. Especially with them. So get them in, please. And I'll tell you another thing, if you don't fit into those categories of NHS and elderly, just get them in to give you the price. And there's no obligation. You can either say yes or no, and that's it. There's no you are. None of that. They just say, okay. Maybe next time, and they just go. No obligation. Great people. Great sponsors of my podcast. And this lot here, that scarf or a badge, great quality stuff. Wonderful quality stuff. And Michael Dean and his lovely wife Michelle just take care of you. They open up all the time on match days. But if you ever get older and say, listen, I need a tent, he goes down to the shop and opens it up for you. They done it for me. And if you can't, if you want us online, there it is, that scarf or a badge. .com at scarforabadge.com, and that's at scarf or a badge, and it's back to me, and it's back to your comments. Please, no distractions, please. because it was really... Anyway, Edward says, big up Frank and chat. I meant to say, yes. Stephen Mulholland, the old mate. Good evening, Red fans. See, the lovely ambidexter. I got your message. I'll reply to it. Thank you. Lovely words, by the way. Lovely words. Thank you. And Barnaby. I think LFC can kiss goodbye to the title unless there are drastic changes. They can't defend, players overthinking, simple passes, injuries, and key players very much out of the form and seem clueless. That's some comment there. And I think we should comment on what Barnaby's saying simply because I agree with him. I agree. We haven't been playing well for a long time. And it's not just this season. It was the back end of last season as well. We were awful. We only played one great game. And that was against Tottenham. And we beat them 5-1 to win the title. It was great. It was great. Great atmosphere, great day for our 20th. But this season, we've played 2 halves in 2 games that we were okay. One against Atletico Madrid and against Everton, when we were good in the first half. Second half. You see, so remember when I said against Crystal Palace, I said, we seem to be playing a game of 2 halves. And what happened there? You can agree with me, you can't agree, or whatever. But then again, see, no matter what you say, you get called moaners. You get called moaners. Haven't we got a right to criticise? Haven't we got a right to say something's wrong? Can't we say that? Or shall we just go along and go, yeah, everything's great. We're going to win everything. I wish I could say that. People, that's why I don't go on really other podcasts anymore. Because no matter what you say, I only said it was down to slot against Crystal Palace. That's all I said. Was it Crystal or Galatasaray? I'm not quite so sure now. And I got called a moaner. You see, so I'm not bothering anymore with other pods. I'm just going to concentrate on this. On our football, on our Liverpool. I'm faster taught. All right, everyone. All right. And Steve says, good evening to you, ambidextrous. She here? Oh, yeah. Good evening, Frank. And everyone says, Barry Aldrich. And Faster says, we need to go back to basics. If you're in decent form, you can start. You go up front, Gapco left, Bradley right back, Verts and Frimpong, can come off the bench. Don't be sorry what you say. You see, when you say things like that, Faster, you're already giving into like people who say, stop bowling, Frimpong's great, and and all this. It's only your opinion. You see, I was talking to Francine, and she said that, everybody's on the backs. They're on Mo's back. They're on Verts' back. And she sent me a statistic. She said, read this. And I read it. And Wirtz is on top of the league for passing and everything. And I'm talking about not just Liverpool, but the whole of the Premiership. And I mean, accurate passing and creating. You know, so, but then again, I have to admit, I think the lads will come good. I really do, because he's that sort of footballer. But to me, he's easily knocked off the ball. We need someone robust in that midfield. And Barnaby says, Slot blames the low block, but players like Wirtz, Frimpong and Isak were brought in to bring a new dimension, but instead we play so slow. Yes, Wirtz and Frimpong are used to a faster pace to make space. Bang on again. Bang on. Good comments. Great comments coming out up to now. Edward says, I'd drop Canate and put Gomez in. Drop Wirtz and put McAllister back in play. No, back in. Play Chiesa on the left, Ekitike up front, and Sella on the left. Now, that's his idea. I think he should play Chiesa. I really do. But just look at his statistics. He meant to say on the right, yes. We know that. And Foster says Chelsea will have a go us probably. Of course, if they've looked at the likes of the Palace game, which they would have done. If they look at the Galatasaray game, which they would have done, they'd be rubbing their hands, I'm telling you. This is at Stamford Bridge, not at Anfield. This is at Stamford Bridge. Canate can't defend. Bradley getting too many cards. Kirkes is feeling the pressure of his price tag. And Ekitike wants an extra touch. Look at the games chasing winners' tactics. Just go out of the window. Yeah, it's all the tactics. I've said it all along. I think he's playing players out of position, to be honest. Look, people saying about the right back position. We've got Bradley and we've got Frimpong. And who was he playing there? Szoboszlai. Oh, but yes, he's got, but Szoboszlai's needed in midfield. That's me. Depends if Slot trusts Gomez, yeah. Because he certainly doesn't trust Chiesa, does he? That's the what it boils down to. And Stephen says, Slot started the season by playing too many new signings in the games instead of easing each player in. That's a cracking comment, because what he's trying to do now as well is young Rio. I've always seen a Liverpool manager. I'm not talking about Woy. I'm not talking about him. And I'm talking about decent managers that we've had in the past. And that includes Klopp as well. And he bloods them. But I think there's a little bit of a panic with Slot. And that's why he brings Rio on. Hoping against hope. Instead of blooding the lad. He's only turned 17. He was 16 last month. 16. And I know that people say, well, look at Steven Gerrard and Michael Owen. And I know that. And the Redbird says, hey, Redbird, you haven't heard about, I don't know, or about the Scottish Bear. Let's hope if anyone can get in touch and let us know how he is. It's fucking sad, this. About one of our group. And a good person, by the way. And the Redbird says, I'd play Ekatike on the left and Isak up front. Good shout. But they need to get the ball to Isak a lot more. Absolutely. Our Francine was saying that. She was saying he's being starved at. I said, I know. I know he is. Say, who do you blame? You blame the midfield. They're there to supply, but they're not getting any supplies. And Mo was coming unstuck, and people are selling and fuck off. They've been sell them for the last 2 or 3 years. Sell them. Breaks every record. The first game he played this season against Bournemouth, he broke a record when he scored. Have a look at that goal, what he scored against Bournemouth. Just have a look at it. He came over from the right. There was a fella already on the left because the ball was going down the left, a big high ball. And it was going, and he chased right across. Beat the fella who was near to the ball. Hands down. Brought it down. Turned into the area. Beat three players, 3 defenders were there in front of him. And he just hit it to his right and bang, goal. Just have a look at it. Cracking goal. And no one mentions it. See what I mean? Apparently, he only touched the ball 6 times last match. And that was down to others not feeding. Of course, Redbird. Totally agree. 6 times in a game. Has anybody ever seen that in a Liverpool side before? Has anybody ever seen that in the side before? Look at the front 3. I could even go back to Ian Rush. I can go back to St. John. And I can go right back to all our strikers. Toshak and Keegan, everybody. And when you come to the latter day, like today, I've never known it. 6 times in a game, touch the ball. McAllister gave a simple pass to their player against Galatasaray. That was terrible, that. I highlighted that. To myself, because it didn't do what, It was shocking. And it was across field as well. And our player was there, just there. And their player was and he just fucking hit it to him. The fella just ran onto it and they were on the attack. It was one of the worst balls I've seen in any game in any era. From McAllister. And Foster says, depends on Arteta grows up here, Barnaby. They are the only other team who can win. I don't know. And Foster says, we're only down in the dumps because we never got that point again. No, it was Faster. It's the way we've been playing. We've been awful. You're saying about Palace. Remember, we could have been 5-0 down at half time. Alisson made some unbelievable saves. They hit the bar or the post. And if one fella missed that open goal, City. He hit it at Alisson. Alisson saved it. The ball went up, open goal with his head, and he hit it over the bar. That was an open goal. Should have scored. And another lad went through. And I said, at the time, if that would have been a Liverpool player, I would have been cursing him. He should have buried it. So they were sitters, they were missing. We could have easily have gone 5-0 down. And ended up getting beat 5-0, 5-1. And, you know, I would call me a fucking moaner. I'm not moaning, I'm just giving you what I was watching. Toscana, buona cena, Franco, and chatters. Not sure if I'm looking forward to tomorrow's match. It's on Sunday, isn't it? I don't think the team has an identity. And I blame Slot passing sideways, backwards. He can be swear a lot. Confession for you, Toscana. Barnaby says, agree with you, Frank. Chat, do you agree the games that they haven't recovered from was Plymouth and Peter? I knew you want to bring that up. That's sicking me. Those two games. That's when, you know, I thought, he's found out here. Plymouth, our guy. And remember, Jones was sitting on the bench, and I was wondering, well, why is he sitting on the bench? He's got fringe players and whatever. And a few first teamers against Plymouth. And I got the shock of my life when Jones came out and said he was injured, sitting on the fucking bench. But that was last season, and when we went south, you know, as I said about European nights. One of the worst European nights I've ever seen in my entire life at Anfield was when the Northern Irish fella was in charge of us. Against Basel. Shock. The PSG was worse. That was worse. We'd already beat a PSG. We were very lucky, like, in Paris. And we came here, and I loved the Champions League. I love it. And I said, we will play better tonight with it. But at Anfield, it's European night and got fucking beat. And this, you know, I'm not saying he's a mate of mine, but he said, but we went out on penalties. And I said, oh, it was only penalties that I said, did we go through? And he went, no. I said, did we get beat? He said, yes. I said, that's all that fucking counts. Never mind penalties. And then he took two, I forget who they were, and they were penalty takers for their countries. And he took them off 10 minutes to go. Do you remember that? Fucking sicking me, that. And he carries on by saying to Barnaby, I think these games exposed Arnie. Doesn't seem to have. He hasn't. That's a certainty. He doesn't, Barnaby. And faster, at the end of the day, someone, somewhere, won't be happy with your opinion. Fuck them. Bound to be, you know, they're not. I'm telling you now, they're not. You know, that Carlyle fella, he's always fucking moaning. They're just opinions. I'm made up when we win. I got told it was a plastic one. Going, you're a plastic fan, or whatever that means, like. And, little did they realise that I've been to fucking more games than even before they were born. Fucking going up to Bury, going down to Stoke. This is when I was younger. This is when I was about 14, 15, going to these mad places. Getting older, going to European finals, FA Cup finals, queuing up at Anfield to get tickets, queuing up at Anfield to get in, going up them big fucking steps. Remember those big steps outside the Kop? Walking up them. I always remember it was winter once. I was fucking freezing. And it was a Saturday morning, and it was the power strike back in the 70s, early 70s, 74, 73, 74. And me and my mate went, and we were queuing up to get in, fucking perishing. And we were playing West Ham. And I think Peter Cormack scored in the first few minutes. And we stood there all the match. We missed the goal, obviously. Stood there all the match. We won 1-0. And they're the games, that I've been to. And I'm getting called a fucking plastic of arseholes who haven't a fucking clue. The vlogs, MI6. Hello, Frank. Only 2, maybe 3 players that are trying up to now this season. Alisson, Dom, and Ekiti. Good shout. Oh, and okay, I'll throw in Chiesa. I like that. With Grav, but the rest needs a kick up the backside. Yes. Good shout. Good shout, that Lee. Really. And even the Red Bears, thumbs up to Barry. There's a long way to go, people. This season has only just begun. I have to believe these players, or most of them, will come good the more they play together. I agree. But it's the way we're playing. And if there's a one-trick pony, he's got to play them in the right positions, no matter who they are. You've got to play. And he's got to... Look, his game is at the back. Slow. At the back, going up. And there's no press whatsoever. There's no press. Barry, he's got to... No matter what, I have to believe these players, or most of them, will come good, and the more they play, yeah. But if they're not pressing, it's a waste of fucking time. It's slow at the back. It's sideways and backwards and sideways. And fucking hell. And they just fall back then. The opposition, no matter who they are, and organise their defence, and then try and get us on a counter-attack. So no matter what, if these players... Look, do you remember Luis Suarez? Luis Suarez came and great, scored. Opening game, Anfield, during the night it was, night game. Forget who he was against, but anyway, he scores on his debut. Never look back, that lad. That's what you call a player. And these are supposed to be the same type of players. Great. And you're getting fans calling for Mozet already. Get rid of him. He's finished. He's over the hill. He's past his sell-by date. Been saying that for 3 years. Keeps breaking records. Keeps being our leading goal scorer. Hello, big up, mate, says Edwards, and Toscana. We as fans have a right to constructive criticism. The players can't be happy playing this way. They look like they have lost their identity. That's a cracking comment, though. I can go back to history because when people talk about, Liverpool, I'm talking about the history of Liverpool and architecture. And I was asked to bring these lads out from university, three young lads, and they were studying architecture. And I said, look, I want to bring you down to the port of Liverpool and the Cunard. And they never had a clue what I was talking about. And I said, don't you know where they are? I said, you must. I said, have you just been down up here? And they went, yeah, I've been down there. Yeah, loads of times, right? I said, well, that's where the buildings are. We've never seen them. And this other fellow went, oh, do you mean the Three Graces? Losing their identity by calling them the Three Graces. See what I mean? I never call them the Three Graces. I call them by the names, the Liver, the Cunard, the Port of Liverpool. Carl Edwards says Steve Malone. And the vlogs, 100% Chiesa start. Imagine him after a good run of games if he is shown most players in only a few minutes. How you play with heart. That's a crack. That. But you know what I think? I think he could be keeping them out as well. And he doesn't want them injured because I think someone's in for him, especially Serie A, for January. And if he gets injured, that's the end of it. He won't be going anywhere. You know, that's a feasible opinion. But he still doesn't like him, no matter what. I've heard people talking about Szoboszlai starting games at right back with Frimp and Brad being fit. I don't get it, says the, that's what I said at the beginning there, Faster. We've got one right back, we bought another right back, or supposedly a right back. And he's playing a midfielder at right back. That's the only thing I can do. Toscana says to Stephen Mulholland, great point. They're all good points tonight, to be honest. And the vlog says Redbird has a good shot with Ekatike on the left. So I bet he will pass in and move a lot more than Gakpo does. Yeah, it's been woeful. Ekatike movement is top when it would then use Chiesa or Rio. See, again, you know, young Rio, he's got to be blooded, honestly. He really has. I understand that, but, you know, we're in a bit of a dilemma now. And it is a dilemma. Please believe that. We're not going, are we, on all cylinders? It's spluttering. We're spluttering it up, and we have been doing it from last season as well, you know. I blame the press. I really do. Not the press, you know, the media, not them bums. But I press them. Pressing game. we just go at the back. How many times have you looked at passing it sideways, you know? Someone mentioned, I don't know whether it was our Francine or someone on there, on the chat, not quite so sure, and said, Eby must be fed up because he gets the ball and he runs forward with it. And he's done that a few times. So is he fed up? I'm talking about the way we're playing. We've got hiccups. Barnaby, Chiesa needs a chance. Personally, Salah needs a few games out. The main worry are balls over the top. Gakpo has an unwillingness to take on players, and Maka seems off the pace. Jones improving, though. Thank you for saying that about Jones. Thank you. Loads of people been looking at them, slagging Jones, slagging him. You need a scouser in our team. That's what I say. Edward, just hope Gomez can stay fit. If he goes, we'll only have 2 fit defenders. Chelsea will have a go, you being at home, but without Palmer, they will be weaker. Don't forget all the players they've bought. They're all good players. Every one of them. That Eze is it, Fernando Eze. He's good, him. And he'll be playing. By the time they get the ball up to the forwards, I've cooked 3-course meal and eaten it. It's just good. The vlogs. But need to go back to basics again at Chelsea. Play Robbo and Bradley with the midfield of Dom, Grav and Maka. Use Verts to come on later when they're tired. That might help his confidence. Isak should be ready now. 5 games he's played in. Hopefully start getting his goals. I hope so, Ed. The Redbirds, all teams have to do is pump the ball up the pitch, bypassing our midfield. Have you noticed, see, this is where we miss Trent. We miss him for that. Those balls scoring up, absolutely amazing to Mo. Amazing. Splitting defences. But the Verge is doing it, you know. Well, he's been doing it for years, the Verge, you know, those cross balls, everything. But we've only got him doing it. Suppose I can't do it at right back. Slot needs a regular back 4 and only changes for the cup games. We are not pressing either. Said it, Stephen. I keep going on about it. But we get a goal recently because Chiesa pressed the ball for the ball. Yeah. Yeah. He hunts them down. He's a hunter. And Yusuf says Slot needs to go back to playing how we did last season, prioritising, structuring the defence and make us harder to break down. But that's the Klopp way. It really is the Klopp way. And he's his own man, so he's changing it. And he started to do it at the back end of last season. You know, when we were near and winning the league. And when I was going wrong, and he had to change it again against Tottenham. Then when we beat Tottenham, great. Then he changed back to what his play. And it's carried on this season. That's just me. Whether you agree or don't. Barney says, the worry I have is that Gahey deal falling through will cost. He brings a calmness so badly missing, and I would give Virgil the kick up the backside needed. Canate shouldn't be given a contract. He is so weak. So you see, there's different comments about certain players. Why is Canate? You know, people will always say, well, he's got his head somewhere else. I was teaching and I was seconded. But I couldn't go right away. I had to finish the term. But it didn't stop me from giving my best to my students who were going to answer to exams. And my head wasn't turned at home. It's professionalism. And I don't believe the head is turned at anything. You've only got to look at Trent. Trent was scoring, giving fantastic balls, everything. And people were even saying that, was as a saying, no, it wasn't. These are professional athletes. All City do is get the ball to Ireland and the rest is history. We need to do the same and Isak will be back to his best, says Redbird. But again, he's being starved. And if he gets starved, people are going to go, hang on a minute. Hang on, he's crap. What did we buy him for? That's what, what they're like. You know what they're like. And if he only touched the ball against Palace 6 times, that's disgusting. He's being starved. And Youssef says, Edward, first part of last season when we played our best under Slot. But was it his pattern? Was it his thing? Or did he just carry on from what they were used to, the players, and then gradually brought in a system? See what I mean? I'm talking about last season. And Youssef says, Edward, exactly. Not only were we effective in attack, we were tough to break down. The amount of chances we gave up to the opposition were limited compared to now. Do you think I've just been proved right, what I've been saying? Toscana says, Franco matches tomorrow on Sky Sports. It's all right, I'll be doing a watch. I thought it was Sunday, Shows you what I know. I know nothing. I've got 4 great films for you tomorrow. another, a comedy, and 2 thrillers. Brilliant. Must watches. You know, when you get one of them things and you want to sneeze and you can't. Oh, this thing's coming back on me. I remember the Basel game. Markovic, Lazar Markovic, if you please. Markovic got sent off for flicking his hand. And the other player, yeah, Lazar Markovic. That was shocking. It was just like the penalty the other night. Fellow was at the back of him and he went like that. And he went down like a bag of rags over his face, you know. As though he's being punched all over the place. That was shocking, the decision, though. Shocking decision. And Clattenburg gave it. Clattenburg. Mr. Varp. I'm sick of Canate's mistakes, yeah. Last game Gomez played, he made 3 dreadful mistakes which could have easily turned into goals. Gomez has cost us via mistakes in games. Yes, he has. Joe, he has. And Barnaby says, I don't discount any team in the Premiership. There are no easy games anymore. Look at LFC next 6 fixtures. I am very concerned if they don't get 3 points tomorrow. Next game, Man U, who may have new manager by then. And it's that fella from Crystal Palace, isn't it? But that Francine was still, and I was saying to her, I said, but the way Man U are and the way they brought in managers, and they've been good managers, you know, we can't do anything with them. No matter who comes in. That's the way I look at it. Nothing against Man United, you know what I mean? It's the way I see it. And Callum says, I'm very excited for tomorrow. Yeah, I remember you saying that. I remember you saying that the other day. And when you said, Palmer's out and a few others. But they've got replacements, you know. And I remember you saying as well, if we attack their defence this week, when have we fucking attacked the defence? This is what it's all about. If we press, yeah. But there's no press anymore. Callum. No press. And Toscana said, I was 9 the last time I went to confession. I went to a mate of mine, you know, very, very, very good friend. He died when he was 24. We were all 24 years of age. And I always remember saying to my grandmother, I'm 24 today. It's the best age anyone can be. And my mate died. And I went to confession. And this is true. Went to I forget the name, it's Sacred Heart, is it, in town? You know, Williamson Square, you know, in there, I lived here. I went in to say my confession, then go to communion. You know, that's what we do. And I went in and I said, "Bless me, Father, for I have sinned and have committed every sin except murder." And the priest come right out. He said, "You what?" And he went through all the sins, and I haven't committed that one, and I haven't committed that one. That's what the priest said. And that was the last time I went to confession to an order and went to my grandmothers and mothers. Callum. Frank Money Isle. God blimey. Thanks very much, Callum. Those who haven't hit the like, please do. It helps Frank's algo rhythms. No one does, you know. Honestly. Presses the likes. And the Anfield Roar said last night, me like button's not working. Is anybody else not working? I think it depends on what you're watching is on Facebook or that YouTube. Hi Frank and everyone, like and subscribe, says Christopher. Thank you, Christopher. Toscana. It's the style of play. It's shocking. He's not playing to their strengths. I'm not blaming the players. There you go. There you go. I know I get people looking in because I know other people say, "Get onto this fella, he's always fucking moaning." I do know that. Do I give a fuck about them? No. Do you give a fuck about them? No. Of course you don't. They're just fucking arsewipes, in my opinion. And Bella says, "Can't wait for tomorrow's game. I hope the game is faster, more energetic, because recently it's been slow. Hopes a slot plays them in their right positions." Yes, but he won't. And Callum says, "I'll promise to you, Frank, tomorrow will be the best performance of the season." I hope so. An improvement, not the best, but an improvement. A pressing game from us. And we've always done well down there at Chelsea, you know. Always done well. Fucking stitches now everywhere. Always done well at Chelsea. Hope so, Callum, lad. Buonasera, Toscana. And Barnaby says, they seem to have forgot that one of the factors behind the success last season, the front three were Bang on. Bang on. I think they missed Diaz. Well, of course we miss him, yeah. And his movements as well as Salah's link-up play with... Yeah. I agree. Well, we've always said about Diaz going. And I did mention about the fluidity of Mo and Trent who was passing. tomorrow. That's gone. But today they're being starved. They're being starved. Ekatike, you look at Ekatike, he comes back and he grabs the ball, he gets them and he runs forwards with it. He's through the middle. And that's Ekatike for you, the lads. I like Ekatike. Fatima Nazr, is that Nazrul? Yeah. Fatima Nazrul. Hiya, Fatima. Hi. Hi back. Nazrul. And Zaz, big up, Frank, mate. What's your 11 for tomorrow? If you were slot, can I come back to that? Can I? I'd play Bradley at right back. Bradley's been bad, though. I'm sorry to say. Obviously, Mohamedishvili's playing because the other fella's injured. Have you noticed he gets injured quite a lot throughout his career at Liverpool? To say Ali. So we'll get back to that. Chiesa has been selected for the Italian squad because they have been impressed with him at Liverpool, says Stephen Mulholland, my old mate. I'm going to read that again. Chiesa has been selected for the Italian squad because they have been impressed with him at Liverpool. Thank you. I'm absolutely delighted with that news for the Azzurri, and so is our Italian girls on here. Eminem, you're looking good, Frank. Why don't you come down and see me? I really need to see you. I need this doing. And I can't raise my hands, as you know. Let me know if you can come down. Oh. I can't raise. I would have been no good in the Bible, would I? You know, as Moses, or who was it? Who had to hold his arms up. And the Israelites would have been defeated. But he held his hands up. The walls of Jericho, am I right? Yeah, the walls of Jericho came tumbling down because he still had his arms up. Me? Hold your arms up. God, I can't. He would have been defeated in the first hour. Oh, my elbow. Don't forget, we have an unsung legend there in Lee. I'm going to ban you. I play him instead of Canate. He's only being sarcastic because I know Lee. I know where the vlogs. Christopher, we need to give the new players time to bed in. Very difficult when going for the league. It took Robbo and Fabinho 1 year to be truly ready for Liverpool FC. Decent shout. But these were ready-made players, weren't they, supposedly? These are, the likes of young Kirkers, he was ready-made. Played great for Bournemouth. But he's restricted going forward. You can see that every game. And Barnaby to Stephen, Gattuso hasn't. For up and coming international games, I agree with Frank that Slot doesn't want to play much to sell him in January. Slot should be ashamed the way he has. Bang on. Bang on, Barnaby. Honestly, bang on that. Just imagine if I never had that on there. You'd just see a fucking head, wouldn't you? Lost me out, wait, Jay. M&A. Oh, brilliant. Thanks, Jay. Oh, brilliant. Thanks, Jay, mate. Oh, that's brilliant. He's on his way to what he plays. He plays, and he's broken every bone in his body. He still plays football for the over 45s. Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. It's coming down tomorrow. Absolutely brilliant. And Bella says, Stephen Mulholland's, I'm not surprised that the Italian squad has picked him to play under Slot. He doesn't get a chance. Yes. And Callum, not much talent in the Italian ranks, but I do rate Cambiasso. Brilliant same Cambiasso. What about Bonucci? Great him. And Edward says, last season when Slot first came, he used to play poor first and play better second and get the win, says Edward. As I said, it's a game of 2 hours with him. And Luke Chapman. Hiya, Luke. Northampton Town fan. Oh, that nice. Hiya, Luke. Good to see you, mate. Good luck with your team. Welcome, Luke, bro, says Edward. And Christopher says, Slot's team played the same as they are now. Nowhere near how Klopp played. Exactly. Slot played slow in the first half and changed it up. And I remember it being weird watching them play so slow. But they're doing it now. This is what we're moaning about. This is what we're moaning about. And Callum, forever optimistic, is our Callum. I love his optimism. Chelsea 0, Liverpool 2. See, that's what I mean about our defence. We can't keep a clean sheet. We played it, we kept a clean sheet against Arsenal, which was great. And I thought, will we be able to do that now with other games? And only for that wonder strike by Szoboszlai against the Arsenal. You see? And they didn't attack us, Remember, they were playing out for a draw. Christopher says, I was also shocked how little we put balls through to the strikers. That's the main thing. That's got to change this year. Well, before you came on, Christopher, it was said that Isak only touched the ball 6 times, 6 or 8 times against Crystal Palace. That's not good enough. And Callum says, Christopher, last season's system was made for Salah. We are turning the screw is there slightly. We're bringing in Isak and Wirtz. Good shout. Yeah, say. Screw. But you never said screw you, Frank. And Christopher is Grace. Exactly, Callum. And Stephen Mulholland says, Naomi plays well in the UEFA Youth League and could have been in the main squad the same night on Tuesday. I really want to see an Isak Ekitike combo. As do you, sir. I think this is what we all want. This is what we all want. Every one of us. And I don't know whether it was you or someone saying that put Ekitike on the left, put Isak in the middle, and Mo on the right. Why not try that and fucking use the press? Just use the press. Because we haven't been using the press of late. And I mean, a long late, not just like at the beginning of the season. I looked at the last Palace game and the Galatasaray game. You cannot legislate for that. No problem, Frank. On way to footy tomorrow, so will be no problem. Thanks, mate. Thanks, Jay. Really appreciate it. And John Rooney says, Chiesa's not in the Italian squad. Oh, that's a shame. That's a shame. Did you have a go at me, John? Did you say that I was a moaner on Alex's thing? You did, didn't you? In caps, you put it. In caps. And spelt my name fucking wrong as well. If you can't criticise anyone, lad, unless you're one of those lads who think that Liverpool are fantastic and they've been playing their brilliance all season. Most probably you are. And Callum says, Youssef, it will eventually happen when Salah goes to the AFCON. Yeah, that's another thing, isn't it? I wonder if Frimpong has been brought in for that, especially. Can we get Kabak back? I always remember a mate of mine, and he was so genuine, you know. And going to the game and the game. And he was saying, what's this fucking kebab like? I say, what kebab? He said, you know, the new player we've got. He's calling him kebab. The new chef, Callum, the cop-out. If Ekitike is fit enough to play tomorrow, we might see it. Yeah, we don't know, do we? But he is training. At least that's a good sign. Sorry, but Chiesa hasn't been picked for Italy for the qualifiers this month. The way the lad gets treated is a bloody disgrace. I agree, Toscan. I agree. And Barnaby says, agree, Gattuso has brought Brian Cristante back into the squad. Slot knows Fed he won't kick up a fuss. Well, neither would I at 140 week, but seriously, Fede is a gentleman. He is, he's brilliant. And Yusuf says, you reckon he puts Sabaz? Yeah. This is the problem we've got, you know. We've got players playing out of position. We bought a right back. We've got a right back, and we're playing a fucking midfielder at right back. What's the point of that? And I think young Bradley's lost confidence. Does anyone think that young Kwanzaa should never have been sold, by the way? No one mentions him. No one mentions that lad. And the vlogs, bloody hell, been 3 months today when we lost our forever 20. How fast is, yeah. Yeah. Shocking. I'll always be grateful for you, what you've done for me, Lee. Because you know I can't walk or anything, and you went to the wall for me. And I didn't know. And you put my name and Francine's name up there on the wall. When I'm okay, I'm going to buy you a pint. I'll buy you a drink, mate. Bottle of scotch or something for doing that for me. And Toscana says, buonasera bella, forza Rosari, anche senza Chiesa, even without Chiesa. I've always said about the Azzurri, though, and you know that I support the Azzurri, I always have done, because of family ties. And it's all the foreign players that they were bringing in, and they were neglecting their grassroots. And this is the way they've gone now. This is the way they've gone. It's just like us. It's coming home. What's fucking coming home? You still go back to 1966, and no one was there. I was there. No, I wasn't there. But I remember it. 66, watching it on the telly. What I'm saying is, when they're all singing It's Coming Home, these weren't even fucking born then. Fucking coming home. The IBR. Even in Don Franco and his loyal followers. Hey, IBR. Jota, he's watching over us. He will be at Stamford Bridge tomorrow, says. And, no one hardly mentioned, someone did, though, that, I'm talking like only a couple of weeks ago, that we miss Jota. Jota's ingenuity in the box. The vlogs. You're very welcome, Frank. Be great to have a pint with you, son. You will. Promise you that. I only said that to our Francine, actually. I said I'll be drinking with the MI6. She said, you what? Definitely, Lee. Definitely, mate. Promise you that. And the IBR says, Quansar wasn't quite the level we needed, but he wanted to be a starter, so he had to leave, says the IBR. But, you know, what I'm saying is, we've got no centre-backs. You know, everybody's having a go at Canate. Everybody's having a go at Joe Gomez. You see? And he was only young. And he was a big lad, and he's filling out. Well, I've seen him lately. And he's been playing very well. In the Bundesliga. Italy, agree 100% with you, and the fans in Italy say it as well, but unfortunately the clubs take no notice. That is in the clubs here. And we've got the best league in the world. The best league in the world. And we've got the worst referees. That's why I keep saying, you know, why don't we bring the continental the refs over? IBR not getting Guy is a massive mistake. Of 5 million quid. 5 million quid. Think about it. It was like, what's his name? Zubamendi. When their president said, just give us the money. You can have it. We wouldn't pay the money. Then all of a sudden we've got the money this season, and we've bought. I can't answer it. Barry says absolutely, IBR. 5 million quid, and they wouldn't pay it because they really thought that we could get them in January. Let's see if, let's see where we are in January, put it that way. And let's see if he goes, I'm running down my contract because Real Madrid are calling me. See what I mean? But if you say anything, you know, you get called a moaner. If that happens. Toscana, Quantum wasn't good enough. And I think with all the passing backwards, he'd be having kittens if he's still playing for us. Most probably. And Barry says, do you think Naoni could play with Virgil at the back whilst Leone gets fit? Can't do any worse, surely. Too young. I know what you're saying, but I think he's too young. These kids have to be blooded in, just like little Rio. Just like little Rio. These are fucking big lads, you know, playing against him at the back. Think about it. You've only got to look at the size of Canate to Leone. I'm sorry. To Naoni. You've only got to look at Leone, the lad who's injured, who's brilliant, by the way, to the size of him. He's fucking like that. We're all having a go at, the likes of Virtue easily being knocked off the ball because he's like that. We need someone robust. That's just fucking me. And the IVR, Vert is the biggest concern for me as he looks nervous on the ball and lacking confidence. There's a few of them lacking confidence though. IVR, not just him. I mentioned it before about young Bradley. I think he's lost confidence. Gay will go to Real Madrid. LFC recruitment team have a lot to answer for. Idiot, says Oscar. They wouldn't pay 5 million, an extra 5 million. They wanted it. He said, no, this is what we want. Just pay it. And we didn't get it. Now it's dangerous that, the danger is that he could just run down his contract and go to Real for it because they love that. They love all these frees, as you know. Losing Leone was a disaster, especially with Gomez made from glass and Betetic constantly injured. Yes. Because remember when Stepan first came in and everybody were going, Strad, great. Then he was getting injured. Then injured. So we put them out on loan to Las Palmas or someone. Know what I mean? So, no, Betetic not the answer, unfortunately. Mr. Lads, was, but correct Toscana says Barry Aldridge about Gahey going to Madrid. And Barry says, I really hope Leone's injury doesn't affect him when he returns because he's going to be an absolute leader. That's a cracking comment. I really do. When I was looking at him, I was like, oh, he's fucking good, this lad. Really good. Then they get injured in the last few minutes. Disaster. I think he gave him that game so he could play in the next game, full game, instead of Canate. But we've got nobody there, as you're saying about Gomez. Not being on form. I'll just say that for Canate. Not being on form. Not being on form. Excuse me. Oh, good. All right, yeah, mate. All right. Excellent stuff. And the IBR says The price tag is weighing heavily on Wirtz, I agree. And very soon the fan base will turn the fucking turns on him. IBR, mate. I fear as some of our fans lack the patience of days gone by. This is what I was saying about. Naoni and young Rio. They should be blooded in, because if they're thrown in the deep end and come unstuck, fans will just turn on the place away. Fucking hell, sitting on this fucking chair. Daryl. Hey, Frank. Hey, Daryl. The IBR. Batatic plays well in Spain last season. And Daryl says, Robbie Fikirkes tomorrow. Chiesa on the left. Wirtz bench. Gravenberch, Makis and Bosley midfield. There you go. He's just sorted our midfield out. Chiesa on the left. So who'd you play up with Chiesa? Isak? We'll just not leave Mo. And also Ekatike. You need a bigger cushion. Do you know what? If you were in my fucking house, I'd just say, yeah, fucking sit on that with a cushion. You'd be wobbling all over the place. Shows you the cushion tonight. Oh, Daryl, Austin's birthday tomorrow. He's 8. He's 8. Happy birthday, Austin, lad. Happy birthday, son. No offence. I know where you're coming from. And Toscana says Leone will be fine as long as Ballsy plays him in the right position. No, the lad said, didn't he? He said, I'm going to come back stronger, better and stronger, or stronger and better. So he's determined, this injury. And don't forget, Wirtz had the same injury, and so did Big Veg. The IBR. Daryl, I agree. I think Wirtz needs time out, and Chiesa definitely needs to start. And Daryl says Isak and Salah. I think that's a good shout, actually. And if Ekatike is fit, he can always come off the bench. But we've got to use a high press. We can't be playing around the back the way we have been, very slow. And getting the ball up very slow. And our midfield has to be on top form against these tomorrow. Daryl says, Isak, Salah, Chiesa tomorrow. That looks good, actually. It does. And the IBR says, only Gravenberch, Ekitike and Van Dijk are playing well, in my opinion, while Dom is doing okay. Well, see, I'm trying to avoid wearing these glasses because they fucking kill me. They're me reading glasses. So for that's saying any words, it's because of my eyes, as you know. But as you said, LBR only Gravenberch, Ekitike and Van Dijk are playing well. That's only 4 players. But not that, yeah, I know that about our goalie and even Mamardashvili. I think Marmadash will be tested tomorrow. Do you reckon he'll be tested tomorrow? I do. Ibrahim, Dom is our best player. Kanate, Ibrahim, and Dom. Is that Ibrahim and Dom is our best players? Because that's Kanate's name, isn't it? Ibrahim. Ibu. Dom's been playing well, though. He has. I'll give you that. Whether it's right back or midfield. No point in playing any forwards if they are not going to get the ball to them, says Toscana. Absolutely spot on. As I said, it's up to our midfield. Our defence, we have to concentrate, or our defence has to concentrate on keeping them out and our midfield. Can I ask you who the weak link is in midfield? And who's the weak link in the back four? Simple question. But it's not really. Who do you think is the weak link in midfield, you reckon, and in our back four? Because what you've got to think of is our forwards not getting fed and the leaky defence as well. Happy birthday for tomorrow, Christopher. Austin from Christopher. Lovely, thank you. Darryl says, Chelsea will test Mama tomorrow, yes. With low shots, as he is so tall. Let's see that he can get down as quickly as the big fella Ali. I think he's good, actually. Mama's a big lad, should deal with crosses better than most, yes. He's a monster. He's a monster. Look at that, see Frank, that prick into one. Well, it's all who Ibrahim is. Only Canate. He mentioned it. He said it. Unless you just wanted to use your prowess of spelling. But I agree with you about Dom, to be honest. So Bosley, yes. Yeah. Do you know what? I agree with you, Darrell. Yeah. Darrell says, Macca, our weak link, and Verts. Barry, Canate, and Verts. And IBR says, Gravenberch has been our best player, and Van Dijk our best defender. Good shout. And Christopher says, just got off the phone from Anne. The team for tomorrow is Marmadishvili. Just got off the phone. Says Christopher. Bradley, Canate, Virgil, Kirkers, Dom, Gravenberch, Verts, Salah, Isak, Gakpo. But where you've got Salah and Isak, I would have put definitely Chiesa up there somewhere. Failing that, I would have definitely put Ekatike on the left. That's just John Gravenberch, Verts, so no McAllister in midfield. Okay. Dr. Benjamin. So Bosley has been easily our best player, and at the moment we are missing Macca on top form in mid. That's a cracking shout. That's a cracking shout. Good shout, Dr. Benj. And Darrell says, Chris, Gapco, no way he can bench rubbish, sell in the summer. I was meant to say IBR, not Ibrahim. Come on. Yeah, it's predictive text, isn't it? I remember talking to this girl, this lady, lovely, smashing girl. And it was just a conversation, and something like about bits came up. And I said, well, the bits are brilliant. I love them. But it didn't come out bits. So you can imagine what came out. I never said that. I didn't say it. And Peter Brown, hiya Peter. Evening all. Looking well, Frankie. Thank you. For all his flaws, we are missing Trent. Yes. We've been saying that, Peter. Szoboszlai should be doing his best work. Yes, I've been saying it anyway. In midfield, I'd put faith in Connor. Yep. Good shout, Peter Brown. I think our full-backs need to be on it tomorrow, says the IBR. Yes, they have the whole of the bloody defence. The whole of the defence. And Dr. Benjamin, I know Canate is getting stick, but full-backs are a bigger problem at this moment. There you go. And this is what we were saying. Benj, this is what we were saying. We were saying about, we bought a right back, and we already had a right back in Connor. We bought Frimpong. and we're playing a midfielder at right back. This is what we were saying. And then he's chopping and changing with Robertson, but he's preferring Kirkes all the time. Now, you know Robertson is not the same player as he was a few seasons ago. He's not the same. And that's where the dilemma is as well. I wanted Incapi. Incapi's a great player, great left back. And he could either play as well left side at centre back. But where did he go? Into fucking Arsenal. I was screaming, oh, even Kvaratskhelia, I was screaming out for him for 2 years. And Incapi, last year. Daryl, I'm only passing on what Arnie said. Well, Daryl says Robbo will start tomorrow. And he gives his team. Marmalade. Marmalade Billy. Bradley, Gomez, Virgil, Robbo, Gravenberch, Maka, Szoboszlai, Chiesa, Isak, Salah. I'm not puffing because of that. It's a good side. But mind you, we've been saying, fuck me. Peter Brown says, not questioning the players' commitment, but having a squad of great individuals doesn't make a team. Look at our starting 11 in Istanbul. It will take time. Keep the faith. That's what we do, Peter. Honestly, mate, we always keep the faith. But you know, when you've got to criticise where criticism is awarded. But you get other, people coming on saying, "Oh, you're not fucking moaning." I've seen a lad there before. He put in big caps about me. Saying I was on someone's pod. So, as I said ages ago, I said, people are looking in and saying, look at this cunt, he's always fucking moaning. And he actually made a comment. Never said anything about me, but I pointed them out. I said, you said that about me. He hasn't been on since. You see, they look in, and this is what other fucking pods do. Have a look at him, he's always fucking moaning. You can't criticise. These are fans who haven't a fucking clue. They just haven't a clue. They just think everything is hunky-dory and rosy and everything else. And it's not. And if you criticise a player, if you criticise the manager, if you criticise anything, you get called a moaner or go and support another club. Do I give a fuck? No. Not a toss. They want to fucking come on here and argue, they can. I'm fucking interested in them. I just say to them, okay, give us a breakdown of how we've been brilliant this season. And who's been brilliant. Give us a breakdown. That's all. And they couldn't do it. We all keep the faith though, Peter, mate. We really do. Marmalade's in goal, he's jamming him. Like kebab. Bring back kebab. And when we were saying about, the centre back, on this pod now, and bring Reece Williams, I couldn't fucking get over that because I was doing a watch along and I seen him as a sub. And I said, is that fucking Reece Williams? Is that Reece Williams? He couldn't even make it on a fucking loan team. And we've got him as sub. It reminds me of when I went to the game and, fucking Jake Spearing come on against Real Madrid. That's so fucking... Thought we got rid of Jays. But we haven't. We still fucking got them. The likes of Reece James, Jones, whatever his fucking name, Williams. Toscana says, top players don't turn poor. I'm not surprised they've lost confidence. It's painful to watch. We can talk about players, but nothing will change unless Slot stops playing this way. Excellent shout. Excellent shout, Canate. I'm sorry, Toscana, not Canate, because I'm looking at Canate there. Canate and Kirkes are the problem, followed by Wirtz and Gapco and McAllister. And how many players is that? Says Darryl. 1, 2, 3, 4. And keeps on saying, Arteta ruins Incapi already, not getting a sniff. Honestly, Incapi, I wish we would have got him. I really do. I wish we would have got Kvaratskhelia. He would have been an ideal replacement for Mo. 110%. And we could have had him for 58 million. 2 years ago, I was saying this lad, Kvaratskhelia, playing for Napoli. Unbelievable. 3 years ago. And then we could have had him last season. Just imagine him playing for us. Keke's marking is shocking, says Darryl. And Benjamin says, we definitely need a top winger. Diaz used to make men on take men on and beat them. But Gapco only knows one way. But we were saying that even, the end of last season when it was the spinners already started that he was going to leave. And we were saying we can't afford him to leave. Keep him. Give him his little wage. He only wanted a fucking small rise. That's a fact. But the spin was he wanted to go to Barcelona. Where did he fucking end up? Bayern Munich. That's what you call spin. To get rid of a player. Because if he only wanted to go to Barcelona, he would have just stayed here. He wouldn't have gone to fucking Bayern Munich. Why do Arsenal have so many centre-backs, says the IBR? Because they bought fucking loads of them. They bought hundreds of them. And Toscana to Peter Brown. It's the style of play. How can Slot think it's how football should be played? Come back, Jürgen. the IVR. If we lose tomorrow, I fear we might struggle this season. And you know what? If we did, and I'm just saying this now, I think when we got beat by Palace and we went to Galatasaray, I think our confidence was shot because we played that bad in both games. Now, tomorrow, if we get beat, say a healthy scoreline, I think the confidence will be fucking smashed. The mentality will be gone, the winning mentality. But it's just opinions. Hope I'm wrong. Winning the 2005 Champions League with Biscan and Jimmy Traore. Igor Biscan. But he hardly plays Igor, I'm being honest. I was calling him, I was sitting in the coffee, and I was calling him the Biscuit Man. And this fella turns around and said, "Why are you calling him the Biscuit Man?" I said, "Because he reminds me of a fucking bourbon." He said, "What's a bourbon?" And I said, "Well, all right, he reminds me of a fucking ordinary biscuit." He says, "You think you're funny, don't you?" I went, "Yeah." Just I didn't fucking know. And he was a few rows down. Oh, well, fuck off. Fucking Tivies. It's what I had to put up with. I thought Chiesa was injured and Ekatike will come on for Isak on the 75th minute and get the hat-trick, says Christopher. Love optimism. Marmalade, kebab and salad. Honestly, I asked Sophia when she was, little. And her mother brought her down. She said, "Tell him." And our Sophia's, she's a big red now. She's 13. And tell him who your favourite player. Mo Salad. And she started saying, Mo Salad, running down the wing. Mo Salad. And so we've got marmalade kebab. And that's good job we never signed that Curry fella. Peter, if you like a lot of ego on your biscuit, join our club. You remember when he scored against Fulham? When he came off the bench and said, "It was a fucking cracking goal." It was a cracking goal. And he's like that. You think he just got up out of bed? Biscan, the Biscuit Man. I don't care what anyone says. Did he change the 2001 final? He should have played, because when we were saying, when we looked at the fucking team, what the fuck? Fucking Cool playing. Where's Diddy? That's what we were saying. And some of it, you get in the usual thing. Where's Diddy? We're fucking Doddy. But he did change the game. And he brought Steve Finnan off. And we were saying, what's he bringing him off for? Because Steve Finnan was a great right back, very underrated. Never put a foot wrong, that lad. I'm not saying through the game, that game, which he didn't. But it was through the seasons. He was playing for us, Steve Finnan. You are correct, Alan, about the 2005. Of course, no one's going to. I don't care what anyone says. No one's going to disagree with you because he did. Because he took Kaka out. Kaka was running the show, and he just took him out. You'll never see that again, ever, in any final. You'll never see another Barca game either in a semi-final, ever. And I was there for both. I witnessed them. But one of the greatest matches, this is what I mean about when we played Paris Saint-Germain last season. You know, the European nights. One of the best games I ever saw. That, you know, they all have been great. Even when we beat Arsenal 4-2 and Ryan Babel scored, you know, he got the penalty first and foremost when it was 2-2, 5 minutes to go. And he went on and scored from a dick out, you know, oof up to him. And, you know, at Chelsea semi-finals, incredible. So, you know, they're great nights, unbelievable nights. And then you'll have, well, it not frightened me, but never heard anything like it in my entire life, was when David Fairclough scored the third against Saint Etienne. Saint Etienne were a great side then. But Rocheteau, Six, Bethany, they were unbelievable. They were favourites to win it because they were that good. And I've never heard a roar like it in my entire life. When I was standing in that cup, when David Fairclough scored, and we all pushed down. You know, we got pushed down. Incredible. Been there for them all. Then you see the likes of fucking Basel and Paris Saint-Germain last season. And you think back on them days, them nights. Hang on. Peter Brown, sorry there, Peter. Don't blame it on the Biscan. Don't blame it on the Yaman. Don't blame it on the Finnan. Blame it on Toyota. He just can't control his feet. Some classic cop chance. I always said we played Burnley in the cup. And I don't know what happened. And Traore, he stopped us on the line and somehow he fucking kicked us into our net. And we went out. And I said then he should never play for Liverpool again. He did. Jimmy Traore. And Benjamin says, the doc says he has to go. Hang on. He has got to try and get a settled team and stick to it. It's the only way we get understanding. That's a good shout. But he's picking his favourites, unfortunately. And Gapco's one of his favourites. Keep Casido quiet. We win tomorrow, says Darryl. We were too reliant on Mo Salah's last season. But he's well off the pace this year. And maybe Mother Time is catching up. You see, I said at the beginning, IBR, and please have a look. Hang on a sec. Okay, now this fucking thing started on. It's just itchy, you know. Itchy, that's all it is. Itchy. And it's horrible. That's all it is. When I get excited. You see, you're right, we were reliant on him, but you have a look at the very first game this season. And I mentioned this at the beginning, IBR. And it was against Bournemouth, and he broke another fucking record. You mightn't be aware of that, but he broke another record. No one has scored more opening goals than him. Any of them. Any of them. On Premiership Open days. And when the goal he scores was absolutely amazing. The ball went down the left. I'm explaining again. The ball went down the left. He was on the right. There was a fella near the ball as it was looped up. And Mo ran over from the right, across the fucking field, got to the ball, brought it down, beat that defender who was near the ball, brought it into the area. There was 3 defenders in front of him, and he turned and lit it into the corner of the net. Super goal. Super goal. We've been saying as well that the players are getting starved. The players are being starved. You're getting the likes of Ekatike and Chiesa when he starts. They're going back to the ball to fucking try and get the ball up. Even Mo Salah was doing it. Going back because he wasn't getting the ball. Ekatike cakes. Steve Malone. Ekatike cakes. Someone's goat. I hear someone's goat. Mac and Hughes McAllister, Vanilla Van Dijk, and some fucking names there, then. Brilliant. Take someone's goat. Who's a favourite there? Like and subscribe. Get me algorithm up there. Most probably he's gone now, but good shout anyway. Need rice with kebab. Yeah, Pat Rice and curry. Do you remember curry? Tony Curry. So you have rice, kebab, and curry. Curry and rice and kebab. And Mo salad to start. Cheesecake. Dizzy was a class act, says Peter, but apparently he smoked like a chimney. Yeah, he did. He did. And he just kept that cacker quiet. Ginny destroyed Barca. And he wasn't even fucking picked. He had to come on a sub. And Daryl says, Mascherano in this team now, we will be unstoppable. Mascherano, brilliant. So was Fabinho, to be honest. Fab. Mascherano, though. Totally agree with you there. I was on the cup that night, Frank. The best. San Etienne. Me and you both. The raw was incredible. And do you know what? I had tinnitus afterwards. Walking home. You know, me and my mates walking home, shouting at each other. But we weren't shouting like shouting, if you know what I mean. But we were shouting so we could hear. Fucking death. Never had that. Never ever experienced that in my entire life. But as I said, I've been to some games. You know, the Barca game. Fucking hell. The Arsenal game. And Fernando Torres, fucking left flank. We beat them 4-2. They scored first. We came back with Big Sammy, Big Header, Steven Gerrard, penalty. Was it a penalty? Yeah. And then that Adebayor, didn't he scored the second for them. It was 2-2, 6 minutes to go. And we came back. That was incredible win. Incredible. I always remember looking over at that Pat Rice, and he was jumping up and down when Adebayor scored. And he was doing all this fucking stupid dance thing to their fans in the Annie Road. They were dumbstruck. I always remember beating Chelsea, and they were going off crying. John Terry crying. They really thought they were going to fucking beat us. And Jack the Ripper. I wonder where this fella comes from. Jack the Ripper. I find it hilarious that you're paying 800k a week for two 34-year-olds. We can afford it. And one of the 34-year-olds breaks records every year. That's right. Got a golden boot last year. That's right, Jack. And the other 34-year-old's one of the greatest centre-backs in the world. Always has been. Won everything. Everything that you win in club football. That's those two 34-year-olds. Jack. To the pit. It's not hilarious. It's fucking great. Fucking great. Give them £1 million fucking quid a week. I'm not bothered. Chelsea will fancy it tomorrow, says the IPR. Yeah, of course they will. I'm getting away from it. And the doc says, such a vital game at San Etienne on the way to the first Euro Cup. What a night that was. Green and white. Annie Road, where the fans were everywhere. Yeah. I ended up marrying a girl who was in that stand, and I didn't know, years later when I said I was there with all that, and they were always feeling me bum. Me mate. I suppose though. Did you enjoy it like the French fellas? Oh, monsieur. She was made up. Shut up, you. Yeah. Vive la Verge. Remember that? Vive la Verge. And Christopher says Stuart Pearce did the punditry on the Traore own goal. He said every defender has done that, including himself, and he was proud of him. Very tongue-in-cheek, yeah. I don't like it. I was there and never listened to any punditry. And IBR says he's got goals, but if you watch his runs and movements, it's definitely in decline. But he has several players around him not performing, adding to us. Thank you, IBR. Yeah, that's a good shout. That is a good show because there's no one helping him. Was it Galatasaray or I'm not quite so sure. Crystal Palace or somewhere. And he had the ball and fucking three fellas were right on him and he just turned it. No one fucking there by him. And he tried to put it through, but just at one of their players and what's he fucking doing? I just can't see him starting Chiesa. He always finds a reason not to. I hope I'm wrong, says Dr. Benjamin. And Peter Brown, some great shouts, Darryl. Well done, mate. And IBR says, who gets dropped for Mascherano? Macca does. And Jack says, you ever seen your man? No. The new ones? No. Well, the second one of that, there's a zoologist who has to tell the people about the dangerous animals, but they all end up dying because of how slow he talks. Jumanji, I don't like that pumping iron fella. Steroids, have you seen him now, by the way? Can't fucking take it anymore. He's like the fella in it. Is it The Rock? Yeah, look at that. You are him, says Jack Terrific. You're the fucking Rock, mate. You're The Rock. Fuck off, anyway. You fucking asshole. I'd say Moses, yeah, in our midfield, right. Yeah, he was good, Mo. Sissoko. He was good. But unfortunately, he got a terrible bang and his whole eye socket crushed. That ruined him, though. He was great, Mo. UEFA Cup first leg, 2-0 down at home, came back to win 3-1, 3-2. 1-1 away, 4-3 in aggregate. And Jack says, he did, you're right. And Salah has been amazing. But he's part of it. He's past of it now, brother. Don't call me brother, fella. Not your brother. Same with Virgil, to be honest. Neither has a patch on Rio Visit. Terry. Oh, for fuck's sake. You know where this fucking asshole comes from, don't we? And IBRC, most 33, not 34. Not being pedantic. Fucking Visage. Torres fucking destroyed him. He kept getting sent off because all he was doing was fucking kicking us. Red. Visit. Rooney. Mo's gonna fucking defeat Rooney. The Scouser. And what does you used to sing? Feed the Scousers, and there's a fucking Scouser playing for us. That's how fucking they're the mentality these fucking fellas have. Feed the Scousers. Ben Zippers, and there's a fucking Scouser playing for them. Fucking visit. Fuck's sake. Darren, sorry. We had a team of Alisson, Trent, Virgil, Trippier, Robbo, Alonso, Mascherano, Gerrard, Suarez, Torres, Salah. They would dominate for 10 years. Yeah, but don't be like fucking Man United fans going back like that fella there before. Talking about fucking Vidic. Vidic. Dr. Ben, no, Frank, not one of the best centre-backs in the world. He is simply the best. Yes, thank you. Jack da Ripper. Jack da Ripper. Zarrell says, Jack, if you want to be a prick, fuck off. Elsewhere, I'll chin you, you divvy. Yeah, they did, and we could have had it, especially in cap. And Darryl says, Vidic, behave yourself, Torres murdered all the time. And, remember the watches under and he's fucking going on. He never mentions Ferguson, Red Nose. And he left them the fucking state they're in now. And he can't do nothing. They're fucked. Oh, the mic's getting late. The Blue Nose is watching our games now. Yeah. No more about Liverpool than they deserve their own fucking see. Especially once that fucking fella came on and mentioned Vidic. That was the fucking and Rooney. Grab a granny. Fucking hell. Having a fucking clue. We knew him, Vidic. Sent off twice, tried to bring Torres down. He brought fucking Steven Gerrard down, didn't he? When he was through. Big Red. Yeah, fuck off, get off. I always remember that little ref going like that. This red card. When we fucking battered them 4-1 at Old Trafford. 5-0 at Old Trafford. 7-0? Do you think United will ever? No. And hopefully Amarin is handed a 10-year contract extension. Is he? Oh, Johan, I'm sorry, but I don't like all that fucking talk, mate. You know what I mean? I don't like it. We respect you entirely. Johan, honestly. Frank, ambidextrous and I both deleted his comment hidden from the chat, yet his messages still got picked up by his software. Even I cringed hard at his comment. Top devil, that Jack. I'm sorry about that, Johan, but, when anyone does that, know what I mean? I was kind to him at first, but once he started fucking mentioning and going on at hilarious, paying 800 grand a week. Yeah, sure, lad. But anyway, what I'm going to do, lads, I'm going to finish now. I've got my film and TV review in the morning. Yes, TV and review. I've got 4 films to tell you about. And they're brilliant. Brilliant. And you'll be quite surprised. Oh, fucking horrible weekend. Horrible today. Is it going to get any worse tomorrow? Edward, see you in the morning. Thank you, Edward. Christopher, my Frank and everyone up the title winning Reds. Thanks, Christopher. See you tomorrow, Frank. Twice. Yeah. Night time as well. And Peter says, night all, top lads and lasses. See you soon. Yes, Peter. Great comments tonight. I've got to admit it, very good comments. Really good comments. And thanks to my moderators for getting rid of a fucking arsehole. Really unfortunate things. And I've got to say as well, thank you for not bringing in anything else. Because as you know, Friday nights is for current affairs. But anyway, I'll be back to my current affairs next Friday. I'll be back to normal tomorrow morning. History on Monday. God knows what I'll be doing Tuesday, but the history of literature is on the Wednesday. Lobbing it down tomorrow, Frank. So I hope you all join me for the TV and film and TV review. Honest, I've got 4. Quattro. 4 films. The lovely Ambi. Lovely comments tonight. I was looking through that book you sent me. You brought me. Really nice. I was looking at through it today. To be honest. Really good. Thank you. As I said, I'll be sending you the message. And Johan, don't apologise to me, Frankie. It has nothing to do with me, even though we support the same club. I'll pray his heart gets cleansed after the tribalistic hatred. That's our Toscana. Johan. That's our Johan boy. And Toscana, grazie and buonasera, Franco and chatters. Hopefully I'll be around in the morning. Weather's going to be bad this weekend. High winds, great footy chat tonight. Thank you, Toscana. Really appreciate it. Really do. And fantastic show, Professor Don Franco. Thank you, IBM. People don't believe I'm a professor, Go, fuck off. Schmaze. He's got an accent. It's crazy. Crazy, Mr. Fofty. So I'll see some of you hopefully in the morning, and I'll see some of you on the watch along tomorrow. No, no. See you later, boys and girls. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. And as the Italians say, ci vediamo. Mattin. Mattin. 10 ore. Mezzo 10. See you tomorrow at past 10. Thank you.